Rust. Rust is a game that has evolved many times over the years. First, it was the Blueprint system in Legacy and the beginnings of New Rust. Then the XP system, which was hated by the whole community unless you played on a modded server. And after that was the Component system, my personal favorite, and a favorite among many. And today, if you join Rust, they have a new version, a combo of the Component system and Blueprint system, and a new Decay system as well. After putting about 400 more hours on this new system on my Steam account, I started to realize its major flaws. I felt like I was grinding so much, the grind never stopped, and I personally decided after 400 hours, this was too much. I had even moved to a highly populated modded server because the grind on vanilla was so hard. After all this, I decided that Rust was far too much work. It was so much work, in fact, that it felt like a second job. I decided to see if I was the only one who felt this way. So I went on my former modded server and started to interview players. People weren't very trusting, understandably, and I was shot on sight quite a few times. I was nearly killed during interviews, and I was actually killed during interviews as well. But that didn't stop me. I kept going, and this is what people had to say. Hello. Hello? I'm friendly, don't shoot, I'm friendly.
Hello.
Hey. Hello.
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 Yo.
So,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
You're sexy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
So what did you think of Rust, as your opinion?
Pretty fun, you know.
It's a fun game. He just got it, but it's a fun game.
So
I
how,
think that it's...
Yep.
Some of the weapons are kind of broken.
Well, it depends. Are you playing with a group of people or with one person? Just in general, for both a group and for all kinds of any number of people, it takes too goddamn long to get scrapped. It's so much of a grind that it's kind of boring, and I'm never willing to play enough to get anywhere where it's in a fun place. But these modded 3-time or 5-time servers are a lot more fun, in my opinion.
There's a lot of toxic people, including me. It's pretty fun.
I mean, it's pretty easy, but it is a fun game.
I'd say it's a good game.
I think the gameplay is a little clunky, but just the idea of it is, it's fun. It's a little unbalanced for nakeds, because it's really hard to move up in the ladder, you know?
yeah.
My opinion is Rust is, it's a fun game, but the glory days of it are kind of gone. You know, like the fun days of it. It's become over time more and more toxic. You know.
So do you think that Rust is a bit grindy? Like, you know, you have to get the components, and then you have to get blueprints, and then you have to get components for those blueprints and scrap for those blueprints, and then on top of that, you have to build a base, and you have to pay taxes on your base, known as DK. What do you think of all that? Doesn't it feel like a second job almost? It's crazy.
Would you like a visual representation of how it feels?
Yes, please. That's, thank you.
Yeah, I agree basically with everything you just said. I think these 3-time servers are a pretty good sweet spot. It doesn't feel too grindy to keep a base going unless you get enormous. But vanilla, yeah, it's too much of a grind for me, frankly.
Only vanilla versions have to deal with that.
I think when you're playing on a 4-times or a 3-times, it's not that bad, and especially when you have, once you start getting like, once you're able to get some of the better tools, it's not too bad to deal with it, and then you start raiding, and you get a lot of stuff. You do monuments, it's not too bad, you just gotta put some work in.
I mean, yeah, it almost feels like a second job to me, cause like you like almost have to always be on when you're getting raided or something, and your teammates, if you're like losing in a fight, you have to be there. So yeah, I feel like it's a second job.
I mean, like I said, I've just been playing on modded because I think it's just bullshit, the whole entire vanilla. Because if I try and get in on white day, I can't because there's a queue with like 100 people, maybe even 150, which is already the server amount.
Yeah, I would say, I think, you know, people, especially like if you have a job and you go to school and shit, you can't keep your base together. And then I think part of the problem with the toxicity comes in with the way it is now. It kind of encourages big groups and big clans of people with no lives that could spend all day playing the game.
One of the biggest problems is that when people, you know, start off, they get all their blueprints. It's the beginning of wipe. Everyone's trying to get, you know, let's get the blueprints. We gotta be ahead of everyone else. And that actually eliminates anyone from wanting to join mid-game, because if you join Rust mid-game, like mid-wipe really is what I'm trying to say, you're not going to want to play because everyone has AKs, everyone has all the stuff you don't, and you're never going to be able to get anywhere.
I agree with you. That being said, I don't really know how to remedy that. I do think actually one thing that would be helpful is if they brought back completed weapons in barrels. Because I know, I mean, it just seems like that just accelerates the speed at which people get the better guns and get onto the late game where everybody's, you know, running around with AKs, but it does also allow somebody that drops in halfway through to have a chance at least of, you know, picking up a double barrel or something if they get lucky and make the play. Whereas, you know, if you're starting off from a bow, halfway through the wipe when everybody's running around the map raiding, yeah, I agree. It's, I mostly, if I don't start playing within a couple days of wipe, I'm not going to play until it wipes.
Yeah, definitely, because, I mean, you're just getting, there's nothing you can do. I mean, what are you going to make, an Ioka pistol and get raped by someone with an AK?
Exactly, yeah. That's kind of like, you know, that's what I'd say a big problem is because new players are kind of fucked.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of issues with this game. And, yeah, this game's pretty unfriendly to newbies, and joining mid-wipe is, it feels like playing Dark Souls. And I'm not like a games journalist, like this isn't the Dark Souls of Ark. It just feels like you're dying over and over and over and over and getting, like, barely making any progress, and it just feels like a dying simulator, honestly.
Yeah, it does definitely create a deep difference between players, but I can't think of a way to balance it correctly, because you can't just have people who join right away on the same level as people who invested 7 hours in it.
That's such a good point.
You can't do shit.
And so, while you're trying to get your metal tools, someone has an AK, and they're just going to come up and raid you and wreck you with their AK.
Yeah, for no reason. Like, all you need in this game is an AK, explosive rounds, and incendiary rounds. You're fine, dude. You can literally take out any base. It's kind of broken.
Yeah, I don't like that. You're right.
What do you guys think, like, of the Rust community?
Epic.
It's cancer.
Okay. So
Epic cancer.
Epic.
I think it's hilarious. People are pretty great on here. There are some pretty, you know, assholes who just want to, you know, ruin other people's day. But I think it's balanced out by the people who are nice.
Usually, kind of just, from every other server I've played on, it's just kind of, like I said, getting into fights, just getting angry at each other. This is probably the funniest server I've been on.
So, Vet, what do you think?
Yeah, no.
You have quite a few hours. What do you think of the Rust community?
Toxic.
What do you think of the Rust community?
Sorry, I don't mean to. Oh, man. Oh, the Rust community is a bunch of fucking degenerates. Same as any other me. I feel like the blatant racism is a little worse in Rust. Yeah. What's that, Stiggin? Yeah. Speaking of racism in Rust, by the way.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like I said, it's mostly toxic right now.
So now, after all this, I hope you can understand a little more of what the community had to say. I recorded over 5 hours of content for this video, and some of it was useless, but I took most of the important stuff and shoved it into this 10-minute video. Now, I don't want to sound like I hate Rust. It's been my favorite game for 6 years. But I want to be able to play my favorite game without giving my soul to it. And that's why I made this video, mainly. Now, I'm totally willing to do another interview or more interviews of whatever you guys think I should. But that means this video does well. So we'll see about that. And so, without further delay, go have yourself a nice day.